Greetings and welcome to The Contracting Guy. I am The Contracting Guy, and today I want to talk to you about the supply chain. Now, what you see behind me is not the flotilla going to the beaches of Normandy. They are the flotilla that is waiting to get into Long Beach or, frankly, any port for that matter in the United States. As you know, at this time, we are having some challenges. Now, I want to point out that not that I'm a harbinger of bad news, but this is known. We knew this. We knew our supply chain had weaknesses, and we allowed it to occur. So, what businesses that are out there that actually kind of bolstered the supply chain to ensure this kind of stuff didn't affect their operation? Now, several years ago, when I worked for the Department of Veterans Affairs and looking at patient safety, I said the supply chain is a patient safety issue. So, why that, Jim? Because failing to receive the supplies necessary, whatever supply it is, to a hospital affects patient care. So, while in the field of patient safety, they're going like this. Well, we're really talking about in the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, interaction with the patient. I said, no. If you define it more appropriately, anything that affects the patient is a safety issue. That affects the safety of that patient is a patient safety issue. The supply chain is a great example of that. And failing to recognize that by patient safety leaders in the VA, as well as patient safety leaders throughout the country, really shows the degree of parochialism that they take toward this word. So I want to point out that supply chain is a patient safety issue. Supply chain affects everyone. For contracting people, it used to be that you just place a contract and get the outcome or get the service or product. Now, what does that mean? How do you write contracts for something you don't know you're going to receive? Is a supply chain down? I guess it'd be more of an upstream issue affecting delivery. Is that allowable? Do we kind of call that as an act of God or something of that nature? So how is that actually dealt with? What do we need to do to mitigate that by looking at other sources? And are the sources that we receive, the other newer sources, do they rely on an outside source that has to be processed through the supply chain that takes us overseas? Now, overseas or not is not a big deal as much as it is what are the interactions that we have? What are the connections that occur? So shipping something is not an issue. Unloading something is an issue. Transporting something from a port to a warehouse is an issue. Now we have things to worry about. As contracting people, we need to think about how that supply chain, and if you're a small business, pay attention, is that what is it that you do that relies on the supply chain to get what you need to have? Is it chemicals for cleaning? Is it products for service? Whatever it might be. What is it that you rely upon? And because you rely upon it, do you have a risk assessment for that? So you need to evaluate the risk in your supply chain based off of what we're seeing right here. I think if you do that, you're going to be better off and you're going to be a smarter one. And I think if somebody asks you a question, if I were a contracting officer asking you, how do you protect your supply chain or what is your supply chain? I could answer quite clearly saying, well, this is what we do and this is how we mitigate risk. And we have a risk assessment over here and that's what we do. So good thing for you, pay attention, look at risk, and you want to find out how does that impact you? And then deal with it. I'm the Contracting Guy. I'm out.
Thank you for watching The Contracting Guy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. We'd appreciate that. This is the contracting guy. I'm out.